Hello, folks. This is November Charlie for X-Ray Lima, North Carolina for Extreme Lovers. And what I'm going to try to attempt to do is to show you, those of you who may not quite understand the spotting page, what you can do to get around it. I'm going to do this live. In other words, an actual viewing, recording of it, not pre-set up. I don't know who I'm going to land on, and we're going to just go from there. But I want you to know, as a hunter, you're very vital to us and can help us sometimes when you work us because you spun the dial and we're not spotted and you're wondering why, because we have no internet. So you may be able to help us by spotting us. This is the spotting page, okay? And you have several different ways that you can list it. Preferred table view. I'm going to switch it over, and you just see me do the click over here, okay? And I changed the way each of these look. And I'm going to use this as an example, but let me go back so you see what I did. You can change it. See where it says preferred table view? If you click on that, it changes to this format, okay? It changes it to this format of looking at it. For what we're going to do today-wise, I'm going to show it in this, and I'm going to take the user stats. If you go back, you see where it says user stats right there, and I click on it. It takes away information, but we want the information, and I'm going to go into a little bit more detail. So I will put it off a late shift. That's right over here where it says late shift mode. I changed it to white. Hopefully that's going to help us to do this for you. We're going to just pick on, we'll just take Claude right here, looking at his. When you take your mouse or cursor and you put it over the individual's information, you can actually go up and do a view and get Claude's information from his profile, okay? You see that Claude's been out there activating a few times. He's got a little over 725 activations, and he's just under 40,000 contacts. That's just from there. So we'll go back. Now, you have a couple different screens that we want to look at. When you're operating and you see where this, and I have to go back to being dark for me. You see right here where I put my cursor over it and it says not hunted. If I had worked him, okay, if I had worked him, then the check mark would not be there, or it would say hunted on 20 meters, hunted on 40 meters. So that's what that box is for. I want to take you down to something that's really important. When you get to a spotting page and the activator has a couple different parks, I want you to slide down with my cursor. See right there where it says history? See where it says history? We click on it and it brings up another window which shows you the history, what time they started, what band they were on. If there was two ops, okay, I'm going to go back now. Oh, I didn't want to do that, so let me get back here. If there's two ops, you can find that. I'm trying to find somebody that might have two operators. Let's see, we'll go to the KM4 Papa Victor. And again, I have no idea what I'm looking at. I don't know if it's that they have three operators. But when you go to that history, you can see if they bounce between what different bands, if they've got two operators, if they got park to parks, and they've listed the park to parks there. We're going to scan real quick and see if anything All right, here's one, Mark, KJ8MRH. If I wanted to, I could go right here and you'll see in his history where he's got it indicated that he had to move. Okay, that he was, let's see, two parks with K 7850. So that history button that you see right there is very important for you to get a lot of information so you don't have to ask the activator what park are you in, or if you're trying to respot somebody and you heard that they had two or three operators, that's another source where you can go to and find that the operators may be listed there. If you wanted to go and respot somebody, in other words, you're just going to respot them. We're going to pick on Claude. All right, you hit where it says respot. You click on it. There's the activator's call sign. There's my call sign because I'm the one spotting, and my call sign will automatically fill in. They were already at the frequency of 7178. Let's say they had to move frequency and you're helping them because you're respotting them because they do not have internet. This is where you would type in the new frequency. There's the park number that they're at. Okay, so you're respotting that. Any notes that you want to put here in the comments section, second operator, second, third park, you can actually put there. And then you would hit the word, and I'm not going to, you would hit the word spot. And automatically it'll go up to the spotting page. Regardless of them having internet or not, you provided a service to assist them in the activation. Never be afraid of this page. When you're on this page, and we'll go to the other view because I want to share some other attributes of this. We'll go to the preferred table view, and you can have it sort. You see up here at the top, all sideband. If I wanted just 40 meters, I can move it to just 40 meters, and that's all I'll see. Okay, if I wanted it strictly on 17 meters, I'll look, there's one on 17 meters right now. Okay, so you have a means of getting around. I'm going to put this back into all. Now let's go to the next column where it says mode. All right, ladies and gentlemen, pay attention. It's in sideband. Yes, you have AM, you have CW, FT8, and sideband, data, and phone. You can select which mode you're interested in monitoring, period. Okay? So, out of that, let's go back here to where it says program. And that's set up for Germany, if I'm not mistaken, Italy, Japan, the United States, OU, and I don't know what that's for because I've never had to go there before. So I set it up in all. That way it covers our DX entities that are activating in their country, and I don't miss them if I have a nice fancy beam that I can swing around or whatever, especially early in the morning. So the next place we're going to go at the top of the screen. This one here, you see where it says show QRT. Okay, there's 31 people that have gone QRT. And when you go to the bottom, and it says show. Okay, if you hide it, you won't know who's gone QRT. Now what I'm going to do, you see it says show. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to slide down to where I can get it that they're all the QRT right here. Do. Where is the QRT on this one? I'm so used to it set up with the phone that it's difficult sometimes to come to the laptop because I don't utilize the laptop out here. But I've got it set to show all the QRT stations. And all right, well, there it is where it says QRT. Um, that's the only one is QRT apparently at this point. See, we all learn together. You see where it says hunted? Hunted right there by my cursor. You have a choice to show or all or hide. Hide is when you're looking at the list, if you've hunted somebody and they're in another park or at the same park and you don't want to see them again, you click on hide, okay, right there, and then their call sign won't show up anymore because you've changed it to hide all that. Where for me, I always leave it regardless because when I'm out activating, I want to see if I work them and just keep going down because I believe in helping other activators by working them, and you'll see where you've already worked them. Okay, you'll show that you've already worked them. You can sort it by, this one shows frequency. You can sort it by the activator's call sign. Let me get rid of that other screen that pops up. You can sort it by mode. And I love when email comes right in the middle of a video. You can sort it by reference number, by the park name, by the region. There's a lot of different functions. But one of the biggest things I wanted to share with you today is to know that when you look at a person, you see this section here. When you put your cursor over and it shows history, it shows the history. Okay, that's the easy way to find out if it's 2 parks. Like when I go out and activate 3 parks, I'll put all my parks in. If you'll click on the history on my spot, you'll be able to find out the park numbers. And especially if you're going to help somebody in respot or you want to respot them, knowing that they're in 3 parks, but when you hit respot, you put 59 North Carolina. If you can do it, have time, go ahead and put the additional parks in there. That helps it because one of the facets with the spotting page, every time that somebody else respots, the previous information is gone and transferred over to the history. Okay? So that's where it goes. That's why you may not see it. How do you want to set it up on your page is strictly up to you. Whenever I do it, I set it up by frequency. It starts out with 40 meters generally because of the time of day I'm on, 40 and 20, and then it'll go 15 or 17, 15 in that order. Now, that gives you some of the layout. Hopefully you can walk around it and feel a little bit more comfortable, but take time. I'm gonna see somebody who's got some, all right, here's one with 44 history, 44. And this one shows that he's in 2 parks. And when I go to the very bottom, do not work this spot, it's out of band, there's information. Sometimes when I'm out at an activation and I have the app open and I see where I'm spotted, I may get a message that way because somebody says, hey, you're out of band or whatever. But here again, it says twofer with. So you're going to find information there that may or may not help you. I'll take a deep breath. I'll say it again. This is just so that you can get around with it. Now let's go over to here so you understand some of these functions. You see we're in late shift mode. That's the dark background. I just clicked it over to the regular mode, which shows white. Each of us have different viewing choices, okay? Over on the left, 2 minutes ago, 7 minutes ago, 2 minutes ago, 29 minutes ago, okay? If nobody respots them, they fall down to the bottom. But depending on how you set it up for, if you set it up for time, it'll show that. If you set it up for the activator's call sign, it'll show that. If you set it up for frequency, it'll put it in frequency order. If you set it up for park numbers, the park itself, it'll set it up strictly for that park number and always changes. Okay. The refresh note. Now, you see up here where it says data will refresh in 41 seconds. Data refresh is paused for 290 some seconds. So you can turn the refresh rate off for roughly 300 seconds, if I'm not mistaken. That's the little help, hopefully, on the spotting page for those who may have a question. May God bless. I'm sorry if I confused you. I don't do fancy stuff with fancy cameras. I use a cell phone, and we just do what we can. November Charlie 4 X-Ray Lima 73s. Hopefully somebody will gain a little bit of something out of this. Till our next video.